we need to make a picture frame, and what we're going to have to do here is first of all, I got this piece cut, and these are going to be the ends. And now I set my saw that's over there it's over there, set my saw at the 45 mark. That's a Menards type of saw, a miter saw, sliding miter saw, and it's not quite on where it should be. Now another thing that I did was take my square, an adjustable square like this one, combination square, and then check these miters. You have to extend it out a little bit. Make sure you tighten this. Okay, the miter isn't quite right. Now I need this frame to be 8.5 by 11. All right, now this first miter that I cut was this one here. And if I check it with my square, my combination square, it's a little bit off. You have to take your square, put it like this, where this angle is, and check it. I check it both ways, like this. Yeah, it's not pointed enough. That's the whole problem. Now this one, in order to compensate for it, this one is more pointed than it should be. Yeah, it's too pointed. So what I did was, this one here is not pointed enough, and this one is pointed too much. You put them together and they come together in the correct orientation. And that's correct. Okay, so now I'm going to mark these two since they go together. Put a 1 here, and then a 1 here. Now this molding came from a factory, and the factory makes precision molding, and this piece of molding was a reject because it has a slight defect. It's got sort of a knot right there, but it's not too bad, so I'm going to leave that like that. Now this one, I'm going to check this one. Put the two miters together and then check it with your square. The way you check it is get it in position so that the miters are together and so that you have a tight joint here. And then take your square and put it like this, and then slowly bring it like this. Okay, that miter is pretty close, but it's not pointed quite enough. there's some play in the stops at the miter saw, and that's what causes the variations. All right, let's take a look at this miter saw. All right, there's a lever under here, and if you want to change the miter, you push up on that. Okay. Now there are stops, and these are grooves cut into the bottom right here. You can feel them right here. But if you move this to where the 45 mark is, I don't know if you heard that, but it clicks into that groove. Okay, then, well, let me try it again. There. And then you have this knob right here. This can lock it into place. So if I put this right on the 45 mark and then lock it into place, that will be a little bit more sturdy and stable. Okay, now we have the piece in here, piece of wood. Alright, now this is not the correct miter. It has to go this way instead. So you have to change it. Loosen this knob, pull up on the lever, and then change it. Watch your mark over here where the other 45 mark is. Okay, let go of the lever underneath. Wait till it clicks into place. Alright? Now we have to cut a miter right on this direction. So that's how you do that. Alright, this one that I already cut, it's about 11 3/16. So I'm not going to take this, put it up to this one, this long one, and cut it 11 3/16 because I want it a little bit long so that I can adjust the miter. Because once you make this miter more pointed, it makes the piece longer. So I'm going to leave a little bit of extra. I'm going to mark it, but leave a little bit of extra so that I can make adjustments. So I'm leaving about 3/16 extra. Okay, now I'm going to move this into position. Turn this. Pull up on the lever when you're turning it. Get it close to your 45 mark. Let it snap into place and let go of this lever. Okay. All right, now I marked it where I want to cut it, and this time I want it to be at this angle so that it matches this one. The two miters point in toward each other like this. Bring your saw down. Check to see if the the teeth are going to hit your mark. Okay, I want to lock this in place. Turn the lever how you want it. Lock it in place with that long part right there. Okay, ready to cut it. Now you can hold on to the fence a little bit with these fingers right here, but don't get them too close to the saw blade. Keep them away, like that. Okay, as I said, I made it a little bit long. And look how much I have left. Not much. And this is all I got here, so. Here's the one I cut first. Okay, this time I'm going to make the miter like this one that has the number 1 on it. I have a situation here. I want to cut some off this one, off this miter. Well, I'm right-handed, and I've got to pull down the saw with my right hand. I can't hold it like this, so, and it's kind of hard to hold it like this, and it's also, I would be cutting this part of my arm. I certainly don't want to do that. So you can turn it around like this, and instead cut some off this end. Okay, here's the completed frame. The joints are all pretty tight and how they should be. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some glue on each joint and then tack it with a pin tacker. That's the Senko 18 gauge Finish Pro 18 BL. One of the things you can do is I've got some pencil marks down here on this piece. One thing you can do is take a piece of sandpaper and get those off of there. Now this is about 80 to 100, and that takes the pencil marks right off of it. So I'm going to go through all these pieces and get the pencil marks off of it. It usually just takes a couple of minutes to get it off of there. I'm going to take, since I got it all laid out very carefully, I'm going to put all these back together where they're supposed to be and just remove one at a time. Now these pieces were in a barn, and they were in there probably between 10 and 20 years. But I cleaned them all up and they look pretty good now. I've got Gorilla clear glue. I'm going to put that on. And then I'm going to use the pin tacker. These are 1¼ inch nails. Now this type of situation here, where you have this kind of a profile, this profile and this molding came from Seneca Molding. And what I did was I took 1/4 inch off of this end, this side here, and 1/4 inch off of this side here, approximately, and then put it all together. So carefully glue it. Now this one will be 2 and 2. Put a 2 here and put a 2 here. Now if you want them perfect and you want to take off the numbers with sandpaper, that's up to you. So this one will be 3 and 3. I'm not going to mark the last one because it just won't be marked. Get a rag handy. Okay, put a little glue on the joint. Okay. Now I'm going to hold this together. One disadvantage of this approach is that it's very difficult, since I have angles that are greater than 45 degrees or lesser than 45 degrees. One disadvantage is that this is very difficult to get it all aligned. Okay, so I've got my glue in there. I've got these 2 tightened. Now I'm ready to nail. Okay, here is where I put in some putty, so I will show that. Okay, after the putty dries, here's how to take care of it. Sand it flush. Okay. A little bit here. And some over here. Right there. So now it's sanded. Okay, we got some over here then, right there. Okay, now there are other places that are a little bit tougher, so I'm using this, and I'm going to show you how we can check that. Also, there's a couple of cracks here. Now this is what I'm using here. DAP wood dough wood filler. And this one is oak.